Welcome to the channel, boys and girls. Welcome to the Reading Street, read aloud with Mr. Carter. Please click that like and subscribe button below. On this channel, I'll be reading great books by great authors and great illustrators to you every week. Disclaimer, I do not own the rights or content to any of these books read on this channel. It's time to have some fun. Let's get started. Welcome back to Reading Street, boys and girls. And today we have another great book by another great author. And today's book is entitled A King of Chess, written by D.J. Duvalsaint, illustrated by Yuliia Zolotova. Light was an inquisitive child who loved learning new things and did so with ease. One day at school, he watched as the older double-digit age kids played an intense board game on the playground during recess. For once, he was glad all grades had recess at the same time. "What's the name of this game?" he asked one of the players. "It's chess," the students replied. Before Light could ask any more questions, the bell rang, and they all went back to class. After he got home that afternoon and finished his homework, Light played on his tablet. These days, he had been spending more screen time on his tablet than his parents liked. His mom gave him a firm warning that evening. "Light, if you continue to spend all your free time after homework on your tablet, we'll have to take it away." And Light did. So they did. Without his tablet, he felt so bored. Light moped around the house. He finally decided to play with his pet hamster, Charlie. But Charlie wanted to run around in his wheel. Light was about to close his window when he noticed some neighbors playing the same game he had seen at school. Chess, he thought to himself excitedly. He asked his parents if he could go outside. "Sure, go ahead, get some fresh air, but be back in time for dinner," Dad agreed. Light smiled and said, "Okay." He stepped outside and joined his neighbors, Toby and Esther, who both had cups of coffee in their hands. "Hello, I saw you playing from upstairs. Hey Light, what's up?" "I'm fine. Can you teach me how to play chess?" He observed the basics, counting 16 pieces on each side of the board. That was a total of 32 pieces. The playing pieces were black and white. He scanned and saw 6 different types of figures. But Light didn't know how they moved. "We're already playing. But when we start again?" "Sure," said Toby. "How about we tell you the names of the pieces and how they move," offered Esther. "This is the king," she introduced, picking it up for him to see. "It moves one square at a time. Think of how regal a king is and how it real one moves. This piece moves very cautiously to protect his territory, so one step at a time." "Next is the queen," Toby offered, displaying the piece. "The queen can cover a lot of ground. She protects the king and can move as many squares as she wants, going left, right, or crisscross. Remember, she has to protect the king at all costs, so she needs to move around at ease." "Then we have the rook," Esther pointed this time. "It can move left, right, up, or down. Think of its moves like the shape of a plus sign," she added. "After that is the knight, and it moves in an L shape," Esther continued. "Remember it this way. Knight starts with the letter K, and the next letter after that in the alphabet is L, and that's how it moves." "Next is the bishop," she explained, "and it moves in a crisscross fashion. Think of it moving like an X shape because of the bishop chops. And last but not least, Toby concluded, is the pawn. It can move forward 1 or 2 squares at first, but then it moves forward 1 square at a time. If it's attacked in an X shape, it can move in that direction to capture the piece. Light looked a bit confused with that last explanation. Toby rearranged the board. Look here, he added. Think of it like this. The pawn is the weakest piece. It needs to move different ways to survive. Then he moved it around as he explained it again. Light got it that time. Time for dinner, Light, his mom called from the window. He couldn't believe it was already dark outside and how fast the time flew. Okay, Mom. He thanked his neighbor and skipped toward home. Light played the chess moves over and over in his head. At home, he washed his hands and sat at the dinner table. His sister Sky had already eaten and was finishing a new puzzle in her room. His baby brother, Victor, was taking a nap. Light asked his parents, "Can you play chess?" Why do you ask? Dad wondered. Because the older kids at school and the neighbors were playing it today. Chess looks fun. Actually, your mom and I have a chess game. We always wanted to learn but never got around to it. We saved it for you. How did you know I would play it? Wishful thinking, Mom explained. It's a good game that teaches you how to think from both sides. That's called critical thinking. After dinner, can we get the chess game out? Sure thing, said Dad. Light was hungry and had been looking forward to Mom's fried rice with mixed vegetables, fish, and spinach. It was one of his favorite meals. After his second serving, he helped with the dishes before excusing himself to his room. Dad soon handed Light the chess game. Thanks, Dad. It's time to get ready for bed. You have an early day tomorrow, said his dad. Okay. While brushing his teeth, Light realized he did not know how to set up the pieces on the chessboard. He soon drifted into a deep sleep. When he woke up, he saw Charlie the hamster holding a chess set, wearing a toothy grin on his face. Hey, Light, do you want to play? Light rubbed his eyes. I must be dreaming, he thought to himself. They were in a park. He saw a rabbit playing chess with a cat. Then he turned around and saw a zebra playing with a kangaroo. Their game seemed intense because faces were serious. And next to them, he saw a cat playing with a turtle. Light accepted his hamster's invitation. Maybe I can learn how to arrange the pieces, Light thought. Charlie, lay out all 16 pieces on his side. Light watched very closely. He wanted to test what he had learned. Just as he was about to move them, the pieces grew bigger until they were half his size. A huge checkerboard appeared under his feet. First, he found the 8 pawns that looked like cannons and put them on the second row. Next, he took the 2 rooks that reminded him of castles and placed them in the corners. He then picked up the 2 knights and placed them next to the rooks. Then he placed the 2 bishops next to the knights. Finally, Light set the queen on her color and the king on the last square. When he placed the last piece, Light felt something heavy on his head. He touched it and removed the crown. What was this? Light looked down and saw he was dressed in a cloak and held a staff. Before his eyes, Charlie transformed into a horse and told him to get on his back. I'll take you where you need to go, said Charlie. Light found himself in a huge castle. He saw a beautiful queen appear, bowing in front of him. Hello, my king, she said gracefully with her horse standing nearby. Light saw bright, colorful fireworks exploding in the sky, but those fireworks were not for a celebration. Rather, they were a warning. that war was near. "My king, we must move quickly and quietly. The enemies are getting close," the queen added. They galloped into a remote part of the castle where Light saw 8 wide cannons. He guessed the pawns had transformed into human soldiers protecting the castle. Just as the first cannon fired from the castle, the lights turned on in his room. He heard his mom call out, "Light, you're going to be late for school." It was just a dream. After he dressed for school, Light saw his parents at the kitchen table drinking coffee. Sky was finishing her tea, and his younger brother Victor was still asleep. Eating his breakfast quickly, Light said, "I had the most amazing dream. I learned how to position chess pieces from Charlie." "You mean Charlie, your pet hamster?" Mom asked with a laugh. Sky giggled too. "Yes," Light answered, "but that wasn't all. It was like I was in a game of chess. I was the king, and the queen took me to a safe place because a war had started." Dad said, "Well, the object of the game is to protect the king." He added, "I'd like to hear more, but we have to leave now or we'll be late." At school during recess, Light asked to play chess with the older kids. "Okay, but you've got to wait your turn," one of them responded. Light accepted and waited patiently. When it was finally his turn, Light actually made the top player, Grayson, sweat a bit. The game lasted until the bell. "Have you played before?" Grayson asked. "It's my first time," answered Light. Grayson looked shocked. "Let's play again tomorrow, same time." "Sure." Light looked forward to it. When he got home from school, Light told Mom about his first chess game. "Sounds like that other kid was a little nervous," she said. "Remember to enjoy it and just have fun," she added. Around the house, Light repeated the names of the pieces aloud and moved them accordingly. To his surprise, one day, he heard little Victor repeat the name of the king in his hand. Light said, "Victor, what's this one?" Bishop. Baby Victor knew them all. He had picked it up from his older brother. Sky also seemed interested in chess. Now, from the time to time, she asked to play with Light. At school, after lunch, kids of all ages gathered near the chess area outside. Word had spread fast. The game was intense. Every time Light moved a piece, the younger kids cheered. At the end of the game, Light learned how to count points. The queen is worth 9 points. The rook is worth 5 points. Both the bishop and the knight are worth 3 points. And the pawn is just 1 point. Grayson explained. The game had ended in a tie. The school principal, Miss E, watched from afar and offered to teach Light chess during lunch. He quickly accepted. Light shared his excitement with his parents. Mom replied, "That sounds great." Dad said, "Now you can teach us." On the weekend, Light barely touched his tablet. He played chess with his parents, sister, or neighbors. During the week, he learned different strategies from his principal and neighbors. Light decided to teach the younger kids at school. He won most games, but he had fun, like his mom had suggested. The game became so popular in school that the younger kids asked for a chess club. The principal was happy to get that started. At the end of the school year, they held a chess tournament. Light happily helped the students prepare for it. At first, Light did not want to enter the tournament, but his friends encouraged him, and he finally gave in. He had mixed feelings because he had played a big role in preparing others for the tournament. Light played for fun and did not take it too seriously. He still won the competition. His classmates cheered him on and declared him king. The end. Now that was another great story by another great author. And today's summary of today's book is: Light loves learning new things, but falls into the habit of spending too much free time on his tablet. He is reminded of his love for board games when he sees the game of chess at school. Light learns as much as he can, and soon the game takes over his dreams. When reality settles in, Light shares what he has learned and becomes an advocate for the chess at school. Now that is something great. And you too can learn anything you put your mind to, just like Light. He learned the game of chess and learned the strategies, the pieces, how to play the board, the amounts of points that he could get playing, and he achieved a great goal, and he won his tournament. That's amazing. And you too can do the same. And in the link below, if you'd like to purchase a book and learn more about this great author, DJ Duvalsaint, please click on the link in the description box. And you'll learn so much about this great author and the books that she has authored. Thanks for listening, and I can't wait to read to you again soon. Bye-bye.